Welcome back, guys, to week 3 of Wind Down Wednesday with Sold by Shy. So this week, we are going to get into how do I pick my real estate agent? How do you pick your real estate agent? Do you go with the coolest person that's on Instagram? You've been watching this person, that person inspire you, you want to buy a house from them, you like them? Do you go to Zillow and you find a real estate agent that's on Zillow? Do you Google a real estate agent? Do you ask friends and family, do they know of a real estate agent? How do you pick your real estate agent? I want to know, how do you pick your real estate agent? So comment below, how do you pick your real estate agent? So that's the first question I have. As far as the next question I have is number 2, how do you know the real estate agent that you're choosing is a good real estate agent? Is it because friends recommended, family was like, oh my gosh, this real estate agent, they were amazing, you have to try them, it's somebody who I think can really help you? And then question number 3 is, at what point in time what do you do when you realize that real estate agent may not be the best for you? So I will be answering all 3 of those questions in this Wind Down Wednesday. I do want to say what I'm drinking today. I'm going to be drinking barefoot, Moscato. This is a very inexpensive glass of wine. It's peach, and I like it because it gets me feeling nice and right. But it's like $5-6 at the supermarket, guys. So get this. This is amazing. I'm actually going to fill my cup up a little bit more. So the first thing I want to say, as a buyer, you do not pay your real estate agent. I think this is very important for me to mention because there's so many people that may be intimidated with using a real estate agent because they're like, well, how do you get paid? And then I have to always exclaim to my clients, like, look, you don't pay me, and I don't say it like that. I just be like, look, don't worry, I got you. The seller actually pays me. I explain what the closing cost is. I explain why they have to pay closing costs. And when I'm explaining that, I make sure they understand that a part of the reason they have to pay closing costs is, paying for the lender fees and things like that. But it is not to pay me to be their agent. So I always disclaim that. I do want to give a tip as well. If you are considering a real estate agent and, let's say, for instance, you have some questions. You say, I want to pick your brain. I want to buy a house, but I want to pick your brain. I'm not quite ready yet. And that real estate agent is telling you, hey, you need to pay X amount of dollars to pick my brain because you do not need to go with that real estate agent. Simply because I don't think that's an honest person or honest. A real estate agent with integrity, they're not going to charge you in order to give you tips and educate you on things that we already know. Like, why would I charge you $50, $100 to educate you on how to get started with buying a house? I already know this. It's free information already because you can go online on Google and stuff like that. So don't go with that real estate agent that is trying to nickel and dime you for every little thing. And most importantly, don't pay that consultation fee, sis. Next thing I want to say is there may be some stipulation. Like, let's say, for instance, you see a house on Zillow and you say, I want to inquire about this house. And you say, well, let me talk to the listing agent. You're already at a disadvantage when you do that because this listing agent represents the seller. So their client is going to be their seller. So they have the best interest of their seller, not you as the buyer. So you calling them, asking them questions, offering up information of your own, can kind of put you at a disadvantage if this is a house you actually want to buy. So I would say always have your own real estate agent. I mean, why not? The seller pays for it. So why not get your own agent? You don't have to use the same agent as the seller. Now, unless, I'm not going to say it's always a bad thing to use the agent of the seller. What I'm going to say is, if you can help it, get your own real estate agent. As a buyer's agent, our client, which is going to be the buyer, their best interest is in our mind, not the seller. So we're going to try to negotiate to get as much as we can get from the seller when it comes down to getting them to pay the closing costs. Maybe putting in an extended warranty so you can have your appliances covered up to a year after you close on your house. I mean, who wants to get into a house and pay $600 3 months into it because the refrigerator stopped cooling? These are things that, as your agent, they're going to look out for your best interest to do. That's what I do. I know I can't speak for everyone, but as a buyer agent, that is my process, to negotiate as many repairs as well. Let's say, for instance, we get the property inspection and it comes back that, I don't know, maybe the freaking HVAC needs to be repaired. Maybe some wiring on it or something like that needs to be replaced. I'm always going to advocate to ask for the world. Now, they don't have to, give you the world when you ask for it in the due diligence with the repairs and stuff like that. But I always ask for as much as possible. Whether or not they want to do it, that's up to them. But as your buyer's agent, I go hard for my clients. So I would imagine if you get a buyer's agent to represent you, they would do the same thing. Another tip I have is, let's say, for instance, I'm in North Carolina. I'm licensed in North Carolina. Let's say, for instance, you're one of my family members and you're in Philly, and you say cousin, or I don't know, one of my family members, daughter, or I want to buy a house. I'd be like, okay, cool. I would then go ahead and refer my family member to a real estate agent that I trust. I'll refer them, send them a little referral form. And when I refer, I do research. I research to make sure that that real estate agent is licensed. I make sure, 2, that they have an active license. And 3, most importantly, I try to make sure that they're a realtor. I know, it's not required to be a realtor. However, it does make a difference because we do have a different code of ethics that we have to follow as realtors versus just real estate agents. Everybody needs to be a real estate agent. Everybody needs to go to real estate school, get a license. However, you take that extra step to becoming accredited by being a realtor. So we pay extra to be a realtor. So I would look for a realtor, but in a different state. Just keep in mind, just because I'm in North Carolina does not mean I can't help you find a reputable real estate agent that's going to take care of you. And that's good. That's good for you. Let's say, for instance, you trust me as a real estate agent, but again, I'm not licensed in your state. I'm trustworthy, so I'm going to get you another trustworthy real estate agent. So it's good to go with someone that you know, and then they can even refer services out. I'm a professional, so I know what to look for in another professional. So I can definitely get you hooked up with the right real estate agent. Wait, I gotta take a sip. It's actually really good. It's peach. I love Barefoot one. I know people may say it's cheap, but it gets the job done. Another thing, I said, how do you choose your real estate agent? Okay, so as far as how do you choose your real estate agent, you can go on Zillow, look at the reviews. You can go on Google, you can ask a friend or family. I say the best thing you can do with choosing your real estate agent is to get someone knowledgeable. It does not matter if they're new. It does not matter if they've been in a real estate game for 20 years. Get someone that's knowledgeable, get someone that is available. Let's say, for instance, you want to see a house and that agent is saying, well, I don't know, that time doesn't work best for me. Or, now it's okay if they're, if you want to see a house that day and they fit you in that day, cool. It may not be at the time that you originally wanted, but as long as they fit you in. But if they're making you wait days before you're able to get to see the house that you are interested in, that's not a good realtor. Realtor, I'm sorry. We need to make sure that we have time for you. And I make sure I have time for all of my clients. You can call me the morning of and be like, can we see a house? I'll be like, cool, 3 o'clock works for you? Okay, perfect. And that's just, my days are not planned out most of the time. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. I may get somebody schedule a new buyer consultation, and it may be, I don't know, that morning, and I may see I have it at 5 o'clock. My days are not scheduled, and that's totally fine. My clients always come first, no matter what. Number 2, how do you know if you have a good agent? Just being available for you. Being available at the times that you need them to be available. Being knowledgeable, explaining things to you, not just sending you paperwork and saying, here, sign this. No, explain to you what you're signing. As your client, we have fiduciary duties to you. So I would say a real estate agent that does not shove papers in your face, but explains and let you know what you're signing. Well, this is going to say this. This is what it's going to say. That's a good real estate agent. They're taking time to not only educate you, but keep you in the loop in the process. And 3, how do you know if you want to change real estate agents? That's a tricky one. I personally, me and my husband, when we first started shopping, we wanted to change real estate agents, and we were in a pickle. This real estate agent did not want to release us. So if you sign a buyer agency agreement with a real estate agent, you have to find out how long that buyer agency agreement is. It can range anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. It just depends on what that real estate agent put in there. You can always talk with the real estate agent and say, hey, I don't feel like I'm getting what I need from you. I want to go with someone else. And then that will be up to you guys or up to that real estate agent to decide if they want to release you or if they're going to make you wait until the buyer agency expire. I'm sorry. Me personally, I never keep clients in a situation where they're not. I've never had a client want to leave me. I have dropped a client before and they came back like, hey, can you help us? We're not getting anywhere with other agents, but I have never had a client request to leave me. But if that should ever happen, I have no problem releasing it. Of course, I want to see what am I doing that's not giving you what you need. And I want to try to rectify it and do what you need or give you the support that you need for me to give to you at this time in your life. However, if it does not work out, I do not have a problem with that. And honestly, I feel like a honest and real estate agent with integrity shouldn't have a problem with that as well, either. So if you've signed an agreement with a real estate agent and it's not working out, the best thing to do is to speak with that real estate agent and let them know, hey, it's not working out. Give them your reasons, and then it'll be up to them to decide what they want to do. I hope that never happens to anyone, but sometimes personalities just don't click. Sometimes it just doesn't. I'm not the perfect real estate agent for every person. It's only certain people that I may connect with, and that's totally fine. And that's the same thing for you as a buyer. Like when me and Sean was looking for a house, we didn't connect with our first real estate agent. So therefore it didn't work out. So yes, week three, picking your real estate agent. So tune in next week for week 4. We're going to be discussing what happens after you get pre-qualified, pre-approved, pre-qualified. You guys know the difference. Last week we covered it. What happens? So that's what we'll be getting into next week. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great night and see ya.